When was the last time you went outside on purpose? Just to feel the breeze, just to hear the birds chirp. Yeah, you probably can't think of the last time you wanted to do that or took time out of your day to do that. Well, as you know, COVID-19 is affecting all of us today. It's all over the news and it has made all of our lives go on pause. This can be a scary time as it's affecting us so much. But today I'm going to talk to you about why we should all use this time to grow, why you should take the time during a pandemic to better yourself, and why we should all be isolating as much as possible. So we have all this free time that normally we'd not have. We would be doing the typical things we do in our everyday lives, like going to school, going to work, doing whatever we have to do to live, I guess. So we deserve to give our bodies and minds a break from our everyday routine that we've been doing for so long. This rarely happens, so we should be using it to our advantage. We should be finding new hobbies and taking the time to learn them. For example, I'm picking up guitar and I'm actually doing online lessons because obviously we can't go outside. So if you struggle with mental health issues, this is the time to face it. The worldly distractions are gone, so instead of going into depression or fear, you should be figuring out how you can let yourself rest without feeling guilty. This pandemic of COVID-19 to me is a way for the earth to cleanse itself. We are already seeing the reduction of pollution worldwide. The earth is cleansing itself and so should we. We should be renewing ourselves and focusing on what we can do to become better. So here are some things that we can be doing. So work out. If you've always been the type of person to work out, then this should be pretty easy for you. But since gyms are closed, then we need to take it to at-home workouts. And if you haven't been the type of person to be active, then this is the perfect time to regain strength and get into the habit of working out. So some things that you can do for at-home workouts is you can go on a run outside. You can feel the nice fresh air if it's warm enough, I guess, for you. And you can also be doing YouTube workout videos. There's so many options online. You can do yoga, you can stretch. Those are just some examples. So another thing is spending time with close family members that we are quarantined with. You may be going crazy spending so much time with these people, but if you look at it as a way of being able to spend time with your family that normally we wouldn't have, you will be more grateful for it. And some things that you can do is play games, you can watch movies, just be creative. Me and my sister actually wrote a song the other day, and so that was pretty fun. Another thing is if it's somewhat warm where you are, you can go outside. This is a hard time considering that we just came from winter where a lot of people have seasonal depression and there's not a lot of sunshine in Utah. So now we have the time to go outside and maybe get a tan or just like sit in the sun and let the rays go into your body. We're lacking vitamin D probably from just having winter, and so this is the perfect time to go outside. One thing I suggest is to try not to binge eat. I know this is super hard because we have so much food that we're stocked up on, and it's really easy to eat when you're bored. But one thing I suggest to do instead is to bake something that takes a while that normally you wouldn't have time to make, and then you can eat that and share it with your family. So another thing that we can focus on doing is organizing our lives. So start by cleaning your room or cleaning your house. Clean out your closet, throw away the necessities, and then deep clean whatever you feel is left over. This will help you feel a little bit less stressed, and it will be easier to relax. Another way to keep busy is to plan what you're going to do after this pandemic. So write down your goals, write down what you want to be doing. This will help you focus on the future and help you see the good to come. So think to yourself, how am I going to come out of this as a better person? Think of people you could reach out to or develop and regain relationships with. Before we were so busy and maybe you didn't focus on talking to that certain person that you haven't in a while, but now is the perfect time to FaceTime them, send them a text, even handwrite them a letter, any of those things. The next thing you can do is feed your mind. Read books, listen to podcasts, learn a language, learn an instrument. Like I said before, I'm learning guitar, and reading has always been something that I never take the time to do, but I'm going to start reading a book in order to feel like I'm not just wasting away and doing nothing. So now you may be thinking, whoa, there are a lot of things I'm not used to doing, which I completely agree with. It's super overwhelming maybe to hear this list, but just pick one thing for right now and do that. And if you like it, then do more of the things I suggested. If you use this time to stress and let fear take over your life, this will be a horrible time for you and you won't come out of it ready to tackle life again. If you look at it as a positive thing, as I have a break, I get to do what I want to do, I have time to find myself, then it'll be more of a goal-oriented time and you can use that to better yourself. So the last thing is telling you all why we should be self-isolating. This disease is highly contagious and it's spread super easily from person to person. If we social distance, there's way less chance of getting sick and spreading it, therefore taking less pressure off of all the healthcare systems, hopefully providing a quicker end to this pandemic. We know that it takes up to 14 days to feel the symptoms, and some people don't even feel the symptoms at all. And that may cause some people to feel like they don't need to social distance because if they don't feel it, then it's not affecting them, but it's not true, because if everyone has that mindset, then everyone's going to get it and then it'll kill more people. This pandemic can either bring us closer together or tear us apart. This is something that has opened our eyes to issues and how strong we are conquering this together. I want to share a quote from Jeffrey R. Holland, and he gave this quote actually today at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints conference. And it says, "When we have conquered COVID-19, and we will, may we be equally committed to freeing the world from the virus of hunger and freeing neighborhoods and nations from the virus of poverty. May we hope for schools where students are taught, not terrified they will be shot, and for the gift of personal dignity for every child of God, unmarred by any form of racial, ethnic, or religious prejudice." Close quote. So can you see how there are so many things that could come from this, so many good things? We got too comfortable with our lives. We became too selfish and we weren't focused on helping each other and developing relationships with each other. And now that we've gone through this horrible pandemic, maybe it can allow us to realize what we need to be doing in order to help the things that that quote shared, like hunger and poverty and racial discrimination. So those are just some things that I feel like we need to be doing during this pandemic, and why you should be focusing on yourself, why you should be focusing on the world, and why we will all become stronger together. The world can change, you can change, and we can all come together and be a better place.